A very good morning to students, viewers, people who are looking at empowering themselves by getting rid of shackles which are caused by negative emotions, disempowering emotions, incorrect attitudes, or even circumstances. We have done a video earlier on overcoming limitation, in which we had looked only at one common case study. We thought three more case studies will make it a little clearer. Let's take case study one on people who are self-critical. This is a repeat slide from our earlier presentation. Once you can change your thoughts, your new feelings will begin to emerge, and you will have taken the first step on the road to your personal freedom. Dr. Wayne Dyer. If any of you want to read, this is the book which is there. And this philosophy we have put into some sort of a tool when we have looked at how to overcome limitations. When we did that exercise of overcoming limitations, we had an Excel tool which enumerated empowering emotions, disempowering emotions, and asked you to genuinely look at it and list out the top 2 or 3. We are going to look at 3 situations in the next 3 slides. If you have not done this earlier, maybe it's a good idea for you to do the filling up of the Excel tool, pause the video, and take 15 minutes to update that, then continue to watch the actual case studies. This is a case study which I've done for a student who I've still not met, though I had quite a lot of interactions with her. We'll call her Anusha. She identified self-critical as her limiting emotions, the emotion which did not allow her to pass the exam, among many others, of course. So she looked at the meaning in Google, in Wikipedia, and she came up with the thought that self-critical means not good enough student, not capable of passing the CA exam, unable to concentrate, unhealthy, inability to stick to decisions, looking at friends doing well and wondering what is wrong. This is what Anusha thought is self-critical, which is perfectly all right. Then we did an exercise to find out whether being self-critical is something which is controllable or uncontrollable. Is it temporary or permanent? So we asked 3 questions. For you, Anusha, is self-critical permanent? Do you think it will be there throughout your life? She said no, should not be there at least. Then we asked her, is it personal to you? Only you are self-critical. She said no, there are many people among students who are self-critical, even adults are self-critical. Then I asked her also whether it is pervasive in all aspects of her life. She said no, only in presently in studies, it is impacting her a lot. Then we did the exercise of the third A, which is awareness of the impact of her being self-critical on various people in her life, on her parents, on her relatives, on her friends, and also on her own self. She was to make note of at least four impacts on each of these segments. In all, she mentioned that all look down on me, whether it is my parents, relatives, friends, and me myself. I look down on myself. I am not happy with what I see. As far as others are concerned, they ignore or keep away. Parents will not keep away, but they are anxious and unhappy. They are unhappy. Friends make fun of exam results, saying that this is all you're fit for. We told you not to do CA, etc., etc. Relatives keep giving advice, even if they have never attempted the CA exam. No one supports, actually. Anu finds herself frustrated, the impact on her, finds herself frustrated, anxious, and not confident of passing the next time. So what will happen? If she allows this to be, she will not pass the exam. Therefore, she wants it to go away. Being self-critical is not an option for her, but she does not know how. So we take it further. We look at the next A. What are the triggers when she becomes self-critical? Say she's not able to get up early. Then she criticizes herself saying, you have no discipline. You are actually not interested in passing exam. This is an internal conversation. Whenever she is unable to get up early, she is beating herself. When interacting with parents and others, she's always very guarded, I could say. She's thinking what they will think, what they will say. So these are triggers of being self-critical. Mostly negative thoughts are there. They will say this, they will say that. As far as her studies is concerned, when she is not able to concentrate on her studies, she again blames herself. When others are able to study for 8 hours, why am I not able to study for 6 hours? This type of self conversation is there. She also feels that she doesn't take help or support, even though she needs it, because they will say something. That is, she is so critical of herself, what others will think of her. Whenever she takes little long to complete scheduled studies, what she has herself put, instead of finishing the chapter in say 1.5 days, she finds that 2 days are over, she's not still finished. Then she becomes self-critical. Because of all these pressures and stress, sometimes she says, let me take a small break and browse social media. Then she gets lost. 1, 2, 3 hours has gone and she's still not come back to her studies. And then she thinks, see, I have no control over myself. At home, it's not that she studies for 12 hours or every waking moment of her hours or day. She can help a little, but she keeps away from everything because, again, her mother may scold her that she had not done properly. She is not keeping good health. She does not exercise or anything else. But whenever she falls sick, she thinks, see, I'm not even able to take care of myself. Though I am young, I should be healthy, but I'm not. Triggers are important. So we advised Anusha to write 15 more after she did whatever she shared with us. This also brings the point that when she comes to her actions, she can take actions such that triggers will not happen at all. How will triggers not happen? We'll get the solution in the last bit. So she wants to get rid of it. She knows what are the triggers. She is supposed to look at what are the alternative attitudes or emotions which would make her self-criticality disappear. Anu reflected for 15-20 minutes, half an hour, plus use the Excel in the description, that is evaluation one, to look at what are the other alternatives. Anu arrived at being accepting of herself and confident as those ways of being where she will never be self-critical again. This is a very important part of arriving at what is it that will make self-criticality disappear. And I felt it was very astute of her, because if she can accept herself for what she is and what she is not, then she can accept everybody else also the same way. And if she gets confidence back in life, then she can tackle anything. Exams is just a small thing once she is confident. That doesn't end the story. Story is she now has to see how she can become confident and focused and efficient separately. What is focused and efficient? I think it is accepting and confident there. It's not focused and efficient. That's for something else. She again spends her own time on this. How to become accepting and confident. In fact, there is another video on acceptance and tolerance, which is going to come up, which may be useful for some of you who require some support. So she lists out by looking at artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Bard, whatever else is there, or even just Google, to find out what are those actions where she will become more accepting, what are those actions where she will become more confident. Some of the solutions may be very lengthy. For example, if she's doing CA, she has to put adequate amount of studies, concentrated studies, which may not be 1 day, 2 day, it may be for 2 months, 3 months. But without subject knowledge, she cannot confidently give her exams. So it could be a longer route, but others could be just a tweaking in her thoughts and beliefs. So after that, Anusha allocates, other than her studies, she allocates 1 hour, 5 days a week for 1 month to take action as understood by her. Consistently, she follows it. Whatever 5 items she has listed out for each, she follows it. There could be some overlap also. So instead of 10, there may be 8. Every week, she checks her progress and celebrates her success. Whatever she has done in that week, she rewards herself, says, yeah, good. Or in case she is not able to do it, she says, okay, next week I'm going to do it. Remember, monitoring brings us to become much more responsible. Everybody. Self-monitoring, of course, is not that easy, requires a little bit of determination from all of us. But if Anusha got rid of self-criticality and then her balanced studies were done well, and in fact, she did do well and passed the exam also. After not only doing this, a few more things. But this is an example of how the 6A for student can work. We will look at some other categories also. Maybe for a career, we had a look at one limitation, attitude, value, which was self-criticality. Now we are looking at the second value, which is busy. Many of us find we don't have time for doing anything. We are busy doing something. At the end of the day, sometimes we question, what have we done? I've been busy, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, but what have I exactly done? Is a question which comes many times. We give excuses at home that we are busy in the office, and in the office we give explanations, excuses that we are busy in some other work. So many people get limited by being busy. So let's look at this limiting factor. So this is a case study where we apply the same 6 A's for an officer in the bank. Her name is Rasika. And she identified that she's always busy and therefore she's not at all able to do many things in her life. What she understands by being busy is that she has a great deal to do. She has no time to think. She has no work-life balance. Her health is getting impacted. She wants to focus on it, but is unable to do it. She had a lot of hobbies. That is all gone for a 6. Holidays she's never having. Busy, busy, busy. So then we ask the question and she answers that being busy, if she looks at it, is controllable. And it's also temporary. It is not permanent. It is not personal to her. Many people are busy and it is not pervasive in all parts of life. Like she's not busy when she's sleeping. Once she reaches home, she's not busy. So she finds that it's not all pervasive. Then she looks at what is the impact in her life on the various important people around her, her parents, her seniors in the bank, and her juniors in the bank. She has a team of 7 friends, and of course herself. She finds all the outsiders, that is, seniors, juniors, friends. They all ignore or keep away from her because she's always busy. If they call her for something, she'll be busy. She'll neither be able to help them nor join them to enjoy. Parents are getting more and more anxious and unhappy, saying that what is this? You're not at all available. You're not taking care of your health. You're putting on weight, whatever it is. The bosses are irritated. What is this all the time busy? We also had your job. You used to do it properly. Juniors avoid coming to her itself for advice or otherwise. Friends, as I said earlier, are not available. They exclude themselves. So Rasika finds herself alone and unsupported. Next, she looks at what are the triggers which lead to her being busy. Incomplete tasks, too many tasks not complete. She has done 80%, 70%, 50%. Those jobs are not over, it's pending. A lot of pressure on it also, which is causing her more problem because when she works under pressure, she can't do the job properly. She requires peace and quiet. She can complete everything, but she has no time. More and more jobs are coming to her. Juniors, her juniors, those 7 people who are there, they are not delivering in time. Sometimes their quality is so bad that when she looks at it, she has to redo it, sit late in the night. When she sits late in the night, when she comes home late, what do you think is what her parents say? Friends, forget it. So Saturday, Sunday, she goes and does her all the leftover work. She goes and does. She's bypassed for promotion. Surprisingly, she works so hard, but somebody else becomes promoted and she doesn't. She's now having to accept any work given by others. Why? She's doing that. She doesn't know how to say no. So anybody says, Rasika, please, yeah, and all that. She says, okay, I'll do it. So as it is, her work is not getting completed. She's accepting others' work also. And in all this stress, she remembers so many forgotten tasks, official and personal. So these are all the triggers. Whenever she hears this, she becomes more busy. Now she has to finish all those forgotten tasks. So more and more triggers she has to write down so that she comes to know how to deal with that when we come to a solution. So she looks at what is the empowering attitude or emotion she can bring, which would make being busy disappear. Again, she uses her own mind, notes down 2 or 3 things, what comes to her mind, and also uses the Excel, empowering emotions Excel, to find out whether she has missed something or what she has thought of is correct. And she comes to a conclusion that if she is focused and efficient, she will not be busy at all. She'll be able to go home at the right time, 6 o'clock. She'll be able to spend time with family, friends. Now she knows this has to be done. And she knows the way also. She doesn't have to focus on busyness. She has to only focus on being focused and efficient. So how will she know what is it that she should do? Again, she will take 10-15 minutes to note down what she should do, what action she should do to keep focused, what action she should do to be efficient, and maybe some more from artificial intelligence. There may be some overlaps. Totally, she may end up with 10 tasks, which would make her focused and efficient. Remember, Knowing these 10 tasks is of no use. She has to do it. Implementation of the ideas is 80%. 20% is getting the right idea, which she has reached. So she will allocate 1 hour per day, 5 days a week for 1 month to take action as realized in regard to focus and efficiency, how she can improve it. She'll do this for 1 month. However, every week she will check the progress, and if she has something to celebrate, she will certainly celebrate it so that she is enthused, she's passionate, she knows she is on the right path, and she will have busyness disappear within a month itself. What are the possible tools for Rasika to use? She can properly schedule time, and when she does that, she should keep some time for crises, unexpected things to happen, and she can put the schedule on her laptop or mobile. We have also seen that setting a deadline is the best way of reaching time. Remember, she has so many incomplete jobs. Maybe the first deadline she has to set is list out all her incomplete jobs and say, okay, this I will finish by the next 3 days. This I'll finish by weekend. This I'll finish next middle of the next week. Like this, she will get all the incomplete jobs out of her way. And after that, whatever job she takes, she will put a deadline. There is a wonderful video which we have recorded on time management and productivity, which is obviously her problem also. So this is a very good tool to use. Video is there, article is there. You may, those of you who have this problem of being busy, who are unable to manage time, may like to go through both of them. The next case study which we are going to look at is anger. Let's look at anger. Anger is a common problem. I myself had this problem when I was in my early 40s. I was always an angry young man, as people used to describe me. Anand also had the same problem. He felt that anger is his limiting emotions and an attitude which needs to be changed. So Anand looked at the meaning. How did he understand anger? Strong displeasure, hostility. Hostility means against the other person, not liking actions of others, maybe even anger against self, hostility against self, displeasure on what we do ourselves, possible. So then he looked at whether it is something which is permanent or is it temporary, is it controllable, not controllable. He looked at whether anger is permanent in his life. He said, no, 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 I'm not permanently angry, nor I want to be. I don't want to be angry at all. Is it personal? No, many people are there. There are hundreds of people whom I know itself who have anger as a problem. They go for anger management classes. Is it pervasive in my life? Every aspect of my life, am I angry? No, I am not. Only when I am found short, only when my client is dissatisfied, only when I get some bad feedback, then I get angry. So he has so many more triggers also, which we'll look at. So therefore it is no, and it is controllable. Very important aspect of getting to a point where we want to resolve our problems ourselves. So then he looked at the impact on his parents, seniors, juniors, friends, and himself. All keep away, except parents, of course, where parents feel sad and guilty that they miss something in bringing him up. Why is he so angry? It may not be their fault. It may be something else. It may be incidents which happened in school. Somebody bullied him. Whatever happened, we don't know. Clients are wary. They think whether we should go to Anand or shall we go to somebody else. Even if they come to him, they don't openly say everything. They just give him what they think is enough to get the work done and leave. His juniors are scared and anxious. And if they're scared and anxious, do you think they do a good job? Nobody feels free around him. They lie frequently to him. Anand has very few people to support, including his friends. They don't support him because he gets angry at the smallest of things. Now that he has come to know that this being angry is actually not at all advisable with anybody, anytime, even less, then he is ready to change. Then we look at then he looks at what are the triggers for him. For him, he says anger follows when anybody questions him, when anybody disrespects him, when anybody lies to him, anybody gives excuses, anybody blames somebody else, when anybody argues with him. This one set. There are some people, the moment they come itself, he gets angry. If they come, he gets angry. As far as Anand is concerned, he even gets angry with himself. Remember, when he is not able to finish his work in time, sometimes he has forgotten something which is important. So Anand goes ahead and makes a list of at least 15 triggers which make him angry. This again is a awareness exercise for the future, how he can identify that these are situations where he will become angry. So he again goes to the alternative emotions, attitudes, which can make his anger disappear. Anand reflects and uses the Excel, again, as per that schedule. He arrives at being calm and kind. Remember, each of us may arrive at a different solution for the same, what I would say, limiting emotion. It need not be the same for everybody. Anand arrives at calm and kind. After that, he uses his own thought process, his experience. How can I become calm? He lists down 1, 2, 3. How can I become kind? He lists down 1, 2, 3. Then he also takes the support of artificial intelligence or Google to find out what are the ways in which he can become more calm. He can become more kind. And then maybe a few more thoughts come. He can make out that those are also good. Then he lists out 5 for each. Remember, overlap could be there. Then he allocates 1 hour, 5 days a week for 1 month to take those actions, those 10 actions or 8 actions, which he has come to. Every week he checks his progress and celebrates the success. Now I'm going to repeat something we have done in the limiting emotions second part. Some of the other things which can aid Rasika, Anusha or Anand. Start with letting go or get rid of excess baggage in your life. It is like what, in our life, we come across a lot of bad events which happen, but we hold on to that memory. We make stories out of that. You want to understand a little more about excess baggage. You can also Google. Sometimes we never forget our failures, but we don't forget that we have failed so that we don't want to try again. That is not the right one. Remember, failures are the stepping stone for success for anybody, whether it's Albert Einstein, whether it is Polgat. Recently, she, had so many adverses in wrestling. In spite of all that, she won and got into the semifinals. Hopefully she'll win the medal finals also, because she beat the world number 2 in the Olympics. Moving out of your comfort zone. Don't be lazy. Challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. Many options, as we have discussed earlier. Copilot is there. There are many others which can provide options on how I can do something. Question the stereotype and recognize the conditioning of social media and TV. I have cut off TV, watching TV news years back, and it has done me wonders. There are millions of people on earth today who have stopped watching TV because it is filled with negativity. This whole exercise itself is replacing empowering thoughts in the place of limitation. The solution is very important. Just having the knowledge that what I should do is not enough. I have to put into place what I should do and monitor it. Follow some proven tools also. There are some tools for empowerment in life itself. Remember, overcoming limitations is one cog, one important aspect of life. Let's look at some proven tools. There is an exercise called deliberate gratitude. Write down your gratitude to the universe. Tell it aloud. For example, when I get up in the morning, I do some vipassana, which is a meditation, but the meditation ends with thanking yourself for doing the meditation and wishing well for everybody. Being grateful for all that the universe has provided. Specifically, write your gratitude to people around you who are important to you and share it with them. There's a particular way of doing this. Again, there is going to be a video on how you can practice deliberate gratitude in the proper way. Understand your true potential. How will you do this? Set your goals. Again, there is a video here on setting your goals. Journalize your victories. We have said, celebrate. Celebration can take many ways. Celebration does not mean going out and purging or drinking. It actually, celebration is just enjoyment with your friends, etc. Journalize your failures too and learn from them. Write down the failure. Once you write it down, it's not a big thing. Learn from them. I always boast that I am a person who has failed hundreds of times, hundreds. And I would say I'm successful because of that. I'm not afraid of failing. Okay, I fail. I have to tell people sorry. But then I have not found too much of negativity coming when I fail and tell people I'm sorry, I did my best. Visualize the wonderful results of your goal. Affirmation and visualization videos also here. Please go and see there if you don't know the meaning. Avoid people who give out negative energy. There are some people who keep on speaking negatively. Ignore them or keep out of their way. If possible, get away from them. As far as activities are concerned, whether it's studies or empowerment, schedule reasonably, reschedule if needed. You can refer to the article on overcoming limitations part 1 and part 2 if you have not already seen it. And then these case studies will make more sense. Thank you very much for your time and listening. Have a wonderful life. All the best.